And then there's this. The Street Profits are going to be in action. And the Street Profits are going to be in action against the team of LA Knight and Rick Boogs. They got LA Knight in a tag team. There was a segment that got scrapped from SmackDown on Friday night. They aired it on the SmackDown Lowdown the next day on Peacock, where LA Knight interrupted the Street Profits. They were being interviewed by Megan Morant in the back. She was asking them about, what do you guys think of Roman and Solo challenging Owens and Zayn at Night of Champions? And LA Knight came in and he mocked them. You guys correspondents now? You just talk about the other teams instead of actually being in the matches yourselves? He said that he could beat them with anybody as his tag team partner. And he turned around, he looked out, I guess, into the locker room, and he called somebody over. He said, you, get over here. And over came Rick Boogs. And thus a tag team was born. That's how we ended up with this match. Now, PW Insider reported this week, per the company's internal depth chart, the top SmackDown heels going forward are ranked as Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa, Austin Theory, and Karrion Kross, with LA Knight in 5th. Okay, he's 5th from the top, and then Grayson Waller is right below him. But Grayson Waller, who has not even wrestled a match yet on the main roster. All due respect to the esteemed Karrion Kross, he hasn't done shit since he came back, and he doesn't get the kind of reactions that LA Knight has been getting. How the hell is he ranked above LA Knight on the depth chart? It's like when they said Karrion Kross was listed internally as the number 2 heel on SmackDown ahead of Gunther, when he was still on SmackDown and he was the Intercontinental Champion. Whoever is putting these charts together needs to be reassigned to a different division. Now, if Triple H doesn't have anything for LA Knight to do, and I don't understand how you have somebody like LA Knight and his charisma, his personality, his verbal skills, and you can't figure out a fucking thing to do with him as a singles. If he can't figure out what to do with LA Knight, and all you have to do is put a microphone in the man's hand, I'm sure he could stir up some shit with somebody on the roster and you can spark a feud that way. But if this is the best he can come up with, at least it gets him on TV. But I can't believe what a missed opportunity this is. You just had somebody from NXT making their debut in the ring on Friday night. Cameron Grimes just debuted on Friday, had his first match against Baron Corbin. There is a history from NXT between Cameron Grimes and LA Knight. And I know they don't like to acknowledge too much history from NXT. They only do it when it suits them. But if you want to do an odd couple pairing, it was right there. It was right in front of their face. And not only that, the fans are reacting to LA Knight more and more when he comes out as a babyface. They're reacting to him. They're going to end up turning this guy babyface whether they want to or not. Or the crowd is going to turn him babyface. Him and Grimes being paired up, let's say Knight, he's not sold on the pairing at first. They would end up getting over as a babyface team. I guarantee you they would end up getting over as a babyface pairing. And that babyface pairing could lead to a babyface singles run for him. Right? The timing was perfect. He just debuted. He literally had his first match on television on Friday night. And instead, they give us this. Now, this is only temporary. Boogs and Knight, Boogie Nights. Oh, God, what have I done? This is not going to be a permanent thing, so it's not worth, ranting and raving about too much. I'm not going to expel too much energy with this. But if this is their direction for him, they picked the wrong partner. I'm not even that opposed to doing a pairing, just because I see with the right person how it could lead to bigger things for LA Knight. And if they don't have anything else for him, and Austin Theory right now, he's already a heel, just like LA Knight is a heel. He's the U.S. champion, so they're not going to put Knight in there with Theory. And he's obviously not challenging Roman Reigns. I don't want him to challenge Roman Reigns because we all know how that's going to go. So at least it gets him on TV and it could help elevate him even more. But you got to put him in there with the right person. There's still time to fix this. Right? They lose. Let's say him and Boogs, they lose to the Street Profits on Friday. Then he can try out another partner. Now, one of them will probably turn on the other. It'll lead to a singles match. But if they want to keep this tag team thing going, he can try out another partner and they lose. And eventually, he reluctantly agrees to let Grimes be his partner. Maybe Grimes says, hey, I see you're having some tough luck recently with these partners. And of course, Knight wants to have nothing to do with him. It's you again. What do you want? So again, it's the whole reluctant pairing thing. But eventually they team up and they win. And then they're off to the races. There's money in this guy as a single star. But if this is their way of getting him there, that would be, I think, the better, more entertaining pairing. Bobby Roode is somebody who used to be part of a great tag team. He was also one of the names not mentioned in this year's draft, and there's good reason for that, because it's going to be a long time before we see him back in the ring, if ever. Roode has not wrestled the match since June of last year, so we are coming up on 1 full year. It's been even longer than that since he last won a match. The last time Bobby Roode won a match, it was a tag match. It was in November of 2021. The last time Bobby Roode had his hand raised in a singles match was over 3 years ago. In November, he underwent neck fusion on his C5 and C6 vertebrae. On Thursday, he was back in Birmingham for another neck fusion, number 2. He posted on Instagram another trip around the sun and another trip to Birmingham, Alabama. Quite a way to celebrate my birthday, LOL. Had a C4, C5 cervical fusion to go along with the C5, C6 fusion back in November. Most importantly, it was a success thanks to the man himself, Dr. Andy Cordover, and the first-class staff here at Andrews Sports Medicine. Big thank you to I think it says Deanne for being my rock throughout this entire process. It's been a challenging year to say the least. Road to Recovery Part 2. He had the surgery on his 47th birthday. How many 47-year-olds can come back and wrestle after back-to-back neck fusions? We're going to find out, but I don't think that's a good sign for his in-ring future. That doesn't sound like he should be taking bumps anymore. For his health, though, hopefully it ends up being a success and he can live a pain-free normal life. It's too bad he never got a proper run on the main roster. You know, we got to see flashes of the old Bobby Roode during his NXT title. I enjoyed his run in NXT. But his best work came in TNA. You know, when he turned heel, he got a run with the heavyweight title. That was years before he finally made the jump to WWE. And they had him mostly working tag team matches with Dolph Ziggler during his main roster run. So we never really got to see, as a singles star, as a singles heel, what Bobby Roode can do. And based on all of this, I don't know that we ever will.